All right, hello everyone. Now that the 430 pages of February the 19th, 2011 has been read into YouTube, I'm moving on to a new activity. I wanted to just read this short little write-up into YouTube, and I will use this for later. I think it's called a Napue violation. This was from Schaeffer. It says, Rudy, one more thing that would be good to add is a screenshot of page 504 of Schulke's report. You guys may remember Hank Schulke. He was written about by Sidney Powell in License to Lie, Exposing Corruption in the Department of Justice. He's supposed to be a good guy, but I don't have a high opinion of him. He'll come help you out if you got millions of dollars and you're a senior executive in a Fortune 500 company, but if you're the son of a Baptist minister, he don't have much time for you. Anyway, it's about, Schaeffer goes on to write, it's about the Napue case, and it says that the prosecution's knowing use of false testimony entails a veritable hair trigger for setting aside a conviction. It can be found on PACER in case number 1:09-MC-00198-EGS. EGS stands for Emmett G. Sullivan. Document 84, filed 3/15 of 2012, page 515 of 525, Schaeffer. So I spent some time on my favorite website that is stated with major sarcasm, pacer.gov. Pacer.gov is a money pit. If the government's not taking your money for prison phone calls, they're taking your money to pay for the audios from the trial, or if they're not taking your money for the audio from the trial, they're taking your money for the software to play the audio for the trial, or if they're not taking your money for the phone calls or the audio or to play the audio, they're taking your money to send the prisoner's commissary money, or to I-Care packages, or to mail them envelopes. This is just one huge money-making scheme of a big money pit. But anyway, let me get back to what I was focused on before I got off on the tangent. Document number 84, page 515 of 525. This is indeed, I believe, the document that Schaeffer told me to go download. It cost me a little over $3 to download this, so nothing's ever cheap. What does it say? What does this? Because it's going to be important later. I'm going to be working on some Napue violations, and I'm going to be going through some Bill Fulton and J.R. Olson testimony where the prosecutor, Scrocky, knowingly used false testimony. That Scrocky and Yvonne Lamoury knowingly used false testimony, and so I'm going to be working on identifying Napue violations, and I feel so strongly that I'm going to be able to find some that I'll just put out this video right now, and I'll just, it's like when Babe Ruth, he's standing at the plate, and he points up in left field. He says, I'm going to hit a home run right up there. And sure enough, Babe Ruth hits a home run exactly where he said. And I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but the Lord Jesus, He's going to guide us and lead us into all truth. And I have no doubt that we'll be able to find within the trial transcripts where Scrocky used knowingly false testimony. But anyway, let me read what this says. See also United States versus Freeman, 650 F.3D 673 680 7th Circuit 2011. Napue does not require that the witness could be successfully prosecuted for perjury. United States versus Boyd, 55 F.3D 239 243 7th Circuit 1995. In this area of the law, the governing principle is simply that the prosecutor may not knowingly use false testimony. My. You think Scrocky and Miss Lamoury and Joseph W. Bottini would ever knowingly use false testimony? My. They wouldn't stoop to be that low, would they? This includes half-truths and vague statements that could be true in a limited literal sense, but give a false impression to the jury. ID. It is enough that the jury was likely to understand the witness to have said something that was, as the prosecution knew, false. Wow, do you think that happened in Schaeffer's case? Let's go on to read the last paragraph. Though the rule of Brady arguably applies to Napue violations, United States versus Agers, 427 U.S. 97 at 103, 1976, the standard of review under Napue is stricter than the Brady standard. A Napue violation is a hair trigger for reversal. United States versus Gale, 314F.3D 1,4 DC Circuit REH''G, have no idea what that stands for, denied 326F.3D 228 DC Circuit 2003. Whereas the prosecution's knowing use of false testimony entails a veritable hair trigger for setting aside the conviction. Any reasonable likelihood that the false testimony could have affected the judgment of the jury, see Augers 427 U.S. at 103. Non-disclosure of exculpatory evidence, including impeachment evidence, is governed by a more general standard. Favorable evidence is material, and constitutional error results from its suppression by the government. If there is a reasonable probability that, had the evidence been disclosed to the defense, the result of the proceeding would have been different. My. Do you think Scrocky and Miss Lamoury and Joseph W. Bottini withheld exculpatory evidence? Do you think they used knowingly false testimony? I think they did both things, and I'm going to set out to prove it in the upcoming few days and weeks, and we'll see how this all comes together. In actuality, I've already proved it. I've already proved that Scrocky lied during closing arguments, but I'm going to find actual testimony, I'm sure, from Olson and Bill Fulton, and we'll put it all together and we'll make a YouTube video out of it, and we're never going to give up. We're never going to stop, and it's going to keep exposing these evil bastards until Schaeffer walks out of that prison, or until these people that have committed this horrible crime, Karen Loeffler, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, Yvonne Lamoury, Stephen E. Scrocky, Joseph W. Bottini, Sandra Klein, Richard Sutherland, Bill Fulton, Gerald J.R. Olson, and Aaron Bennett, until they all go to prison where they need to be.